Welcome back, everybody, to another devlog. It's been a hot minute since we've been on here, and, well, we've been quite busy. As you can see behind us, we've got a very beautiful area. The two builders that are on now have actually been working on it quite a bit. I'll tell them to say hi. John Ninja and King Derp, they've been very instrumental on keeping this map going while I took a couple short breaks, and they've helped build things so that really inspired me in a few ways for diamond ideas. And the core of this game is diamond ideas and how we can make them fun in their own ways. So I was going to start by giving a tour of the area they've built. I think last time we might have seen a little bit of the deep jungle. We'll leave that. If not, we'll leave that to the player to figure things out. But this is a Japanese-inspired village. They came up with all the ideas, so I don't want to take credit for any of their building. But ooh, that's illegal. There we go. It's fixed. Sorry, I'm kind of a stickler about that. But yeah, I don't want to take credit for any of the things they've done, and I think it really has turned out nice. I think it's very memorable, especially with all the Japanese maple, I think is what they are, trees. And these buildings are very unique, I would say, and how this borders the jungle. This is technically the same area. It's not two separate areas. So I'll do a quick flyover. I feel like I haven't seen this one. No, I know what this one is. So there's like I guess a fly inside. A 7-Eleven, maybe, shop. I don't think it's actually a 7-Eleven because then we'd have problems. But it's like a little market of all the heads. Got some cool heads here. Got Technoblade, which is kind of a nice tribute in this map. And a few other heads you might recognize. This was all they're doing. The clearance aisle. That's where I would be. But they've really been working hard on this stuff. A whole lot of details. Something I'm not necessarily the best at. Like this is real neat looking. And here's a little fish shop. There's an aquarium back there. I don't want to spend too much time looking at all these details, but I think it's pretty neat to point out some of them. Here's the portal that you'd come through. What's funny is I've had to change some of these gold blocks, like here at the portal. I guess that one wouldn't have been a problem. But in some places, I've had to swap them to raw gold. Because one of the mechanics of this game is if you stand on a gold block, you go into crouching mode, so you can crawl through small areas. And actually, I can show you one. If I just cheese through the ground. Oh, there's like leaves down here. Right here. So if I'm a fox, I go into crouch mode like this, and if you're in F5, it's not too bad. That's one thing that's kind of hard to keep track of is the F5 mode, because everything has to look good in F5 mode. So here's just a little maze, and these are glass blocks above, so you can see how all that works. I'm gonna unload fox, avert your eyes. There we go. But they built all the way right up to the border, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure what this bedrock is here for. Even have a fish driving a tractor. I like this detail a lot. Tells a nice little story. So there's a lot of detail in this whole area, and I'm excited for you guys to play through it once the map is done. Speaking of progress, we're about, I would say, 6 areas diamonds are pretty much done. like 6 areas worth of diamonds, which is quite a lot. We're almost half done probably with the map. As a side note, I would like to share some of Tao's work. You know, Tao, 2 times pi, Tao. Anyways, he has been working on music for the map. I'm really excited to have somebody that knows how to make music at all, let alone someone who's good at making music, work on this map with us. So I'll let probably about 30 seconds or maybe a minute of the music play, and then we'll get back to the rest of the devlog. Let me know what you think. I am excited. Like I said before, this will be a very fun step in this map, and how having very curated music will be a lot more fun in the experience, I think. Just as a thing I want to show you, if I go into Fox Load. So one thing that I've been struggling with is when I'm creating diamonds and I want to create dialogue, or I need a character to have dialogue, it just slowed me down because I have to write the dialogue. And really, I kind of want to write it all at once. So a simple solution for that is just don't write it. So here's some very basic dialogue. So for playtesting, this dialogue would be sufficient. It's not very colorful. It's not the reading across. But sometimes you have to cut corners in the short term so you can make it easier in the long run. So we talk to the panda, and then it'll start running away. And you can chase it back to where it needs to be. I think I might need to force load this area, because I think if you fly away, he might get stuck. Which is something that happens quite a lot. You move it around, that is. So I got to account for that. So another thing I want to show you is some of the development features that we've created. Let me get my milk bucket. Actually, maybe not. I'll probably use turn into the fox again. So I'll show you one real quick by setting up a shop in this area. So shops are something that you kind of just have all the time when you're making a map like this. And you kind of reuse mechanics, so you kind of want to reuse the shop. So where would the best spot? So that's like a plant spot. This would be swords. I'd maybe consider it a weapon. So I've got this special item frame that goes invisible, so there's an item frame there. I can put milk there, but is it not, maybe if I hit hitboxes? No, hitboxes will not show it. Anyways, I actually have a bunch of functions to summon things. And here's the shops that you can currently find. I'll create a snowball shop. And just like that, this shop will be able to buy snowballs. So you're coming around as the fox, running around. Oh, here's snowballs. And nice little feature is you can see how much it costs, and it glows, so you know if you selected. Sometimes there's a couple shops right next to each other, so it's easy to select the wrong one, so you can re-aim. And then if you want to buy it, you click twice, and you just have the snowballs. It went down one real quick because I threw a snowball earlier, and the scoreboard doesn't reset if you're running around with it. And the reason you'd want to buy snowballs is here. I don't want to spoil the puzzle, but I think anytime you see targets, I think it's pretty obvious that you want some sort of projectile, right? So I'm going to unload. I'll drink the milk bucket so you can see me. There we are. And I want to show you another development function that I've created. It's really interesting because it's not something that you normally would care about. I'm going to go to creative so I can fly faster. Try not to spoil too much. There we go. So sometimes in a map you have problems like maybe a painting that gets placed and you forget to lock it. Or like I saw earlier, you have double grass, and that's no fun for everybody. Or maybe you have a flower pot that has a flower in it. And when you're in adventure mode, for some reason, you can still interact with it, even though you probably don't need to. I don't know why that's part of adventure mode. And builders also use a lot of barrels and like brewing stands and all sorts of blocks for decoration, which can work pretty well. But the problem is if you're a fox running around, you don't want to open the barrels on accident. That's just kind of annoying. So I've created, not sure what this is about. I've created a function that actually scans every single block in the world, one at a time, and fixes them. It looks for entities that need to be fixed. It looks for flower pots. I actually have to rewrite the flower pot thing in a bit. I'll show you maybe the problem with it. But if I just run function dev, and then I have a fixer, and you just run start. And I just run that, and it'll scan through blocks. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, there it is, flashing very, very rapidly. And it's already fixed all of these blocks. So these are locked. This has a slime on it. If I go to spectator, you can see. Hopefully I can't. Yeah, I can't select it from the top or anything. For some reason. Yeah. The slime should be on a team that's no collision, but it just kind of doesn't work sometimes. And then if I data get entity, this painting, there's the scanner running the second row of blocks already. So it's already scanned, what is that, 1 million blocks? It scans, I think, 1,000 every tick. So it's pretty quick. But it has to be quick because there are, I think, 500 million blocks in just the overworld and twice that because of the nether. So there's a lot to work with, a lot that this thing has to scan. And actually, for performance reasons, I'm just going to run the finish. Oh. Maybe that didn't work. I think it's dev.fixer. Yeah, that was it. So it finished. And which way am I going? Not this way. Oh, man, I don't know why I was spawning there. I'll fly through the ground so you can't be spoiled too much. Oh, there's a structure block. Interesting. I did not place that. I like to kind of know what's going on. Not because I'm nosy, because I want to make sure things are not breaking the rules. You know, a good idea for making stuff like this is to have building rules. So like, for example, barrels have to be locked. And sometimes, yeah, see, that's the problem I ran into. The slime just despawns. It has persistence required. I'm not sure why it despawns. I think maybe it's bugged out. I'm going to summon a marker that respawns the slime every time it detects one not being found. And that'll just check when you're close by and if there's a small amount of, or if there's no slime. And it runs only like every 10 or 100 seconds even. So that thing, even though it runs very quickly, it still takes a few hours to scan every block in the world just because of how absolutely massive this world is. And some parts of it are not part of the actual game, but I just scan the whole area, so it's relatively safe. So that's what I've been up to. I'm trying not to spoil too much of the areas because I think that's kind of a lot of the fun of the game is exploring. And so saving them for you guys to actually play through is the best way of doing it. So I think the last couple episodes, or the last devlogs, I've shown how things have, or maybe problems that I've run into. And it's not really a problem, but it's maybe something that I'm sending or requesting help maybe on is dialogue. Do you know anybody that has good dialogue? Do you have any do you want to write a character? Because I have a lot of dialogue to write. Probably 12 or 13 characters already. No, probably 20 characters just sitting. And that's a very small amount of the entire map. There's probably another 50 or 60 total. So there's a lot left in terms of dialogue. I'll write it myself if need be, but I didn't know if somebody was really enjoyed writing dialogue, because I think that's it can be pretty fun if you write fun characters, and I feel like if one person writes all the characters, then sometimes it might get kind of one note and boring. So here's something I came up with, was to replace the leaves with the new mangrove roots. We're in 119, by the way. And I really like the way these dead trees look. In this walled off section, you go from live area to dead area. Very clear distinction. There's evil bad wolves, like in the first map. So we've been up to a lot. I'm hoping to continue hard work on this, but time will tell. So if you've enjoyed this devlog, let me know. Leave a like. I like the feedback. If you have any ideas on how to continue improving, any ideas on how this map could be better, because I'm really wanting to go all out, so it's a fun, enjoyable experience for everyone. But I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.